Hey, how's it going? So most of you seen the AMD announcing the new lineup for this year's graphics cards, and well, I think I'm pretty excited about it. It looks like Big Navi might have it this year, if I'm being honest. But anyway, so the base clock of the RX 6800 XT is 1487 megahertz with a game clock of 2015 megahertz, but it boosts up to 2250 megahertz. Here we have the RTX 3080 with a base clock of 1440 megahertz and a boost clock to just 1710 megahertz. So as you can see, it's significantly higher on AMD's side, which could be quite an advantage in gaming. So we have the memory clock. On AMD's side, it's 2000 megahertz with 15 gigabits per second. It's quite effective. And then we have the RTX 3080s with only 1188 megahertz, but it has 19 gigabits per second. So if you look at the shading units, we have 4608 on AMD's side, but here we have on Nvidia's 8704, which is significantly higher. TMUs, we have 288 on AMD's side and 272 on Nvidia's side, so AMD's got them beat there. ROPS, we have 128 on AMD's side, and on Nvidia's side we have 96, so we can't really do RT cores, but oh no, we can. Okay, so RT cores, we have 72 on AMD's side, and on Nvidia's side we have just 68. So the L2 cache, or 1 cache on AMD's side is 128 kilobits per array, and on Nvidia's side it's 128 kilobits as well, but that's per SM. So the L2 cache is 4 megabytes, and the L2 cache on Nvidia's has 5 megabytes, but AMD's has a L3 cache with 128 megabytes. So that's just something there. The TDP for AMD's new graphics card is 300 watts, but on Nvidia's side we have 320 watts. So it's pretty impressive. They've managed to achieve that kind of performance with less power going to it. So we have more for the memory. The memory size on AMD's side is 16 gigabytes, but on Nvidia's side it's just 10. So if we're doing like graphic design photo work, that's probably going to be better for AMD's workload stuff. But the memory type on AMD's is GDDR6, and with the memory type on Nvidia's being GDDR6X, that could be a fair disadvantage for AMD. The memory bus on AMD's is 256-bit, but over at Nvidia we have 320-bit, so they've got them beat there. The bandwidth is 512 gigabits per second, but the bandwidth on Nvidia's side is 760.3 gigabits per second, so alright, so I'll show you now the graph of the RX 6800 XT next to the RTX 3080 in certain games and see the performance there.
Let's take a look at how the 6800 XT competes head-to-head against the latest offering from the competition. Here, we compare their best API scores to our best API scores, the best versus the best. And as you can see, the 6800 XT trades blows and has some significant wins across a variety of titles. And it does all of this at less power consumption than the competition. For the 1440p gamers out there, we have some great results for you too. Over the last several years, more and more gamers have adopted 1440p monitors as their display of choice. Here are the same games we showed you before, running the same best versus best API scenario at 1440p resolution. I personally love seeing so many games running at over 100 frames per second with all of the settings maxed out. This is just an incredible amount of performance. All in all, the 6800 XT is a fantastic choice for enthusiast gamers. We even have more performance we are delivering with 2 very cool features. The first is a one-click overclocking button we've built into our Radeon software package that we call Rage Mode. Now, Rage Mode automatically takes advantage of the overclocking headroom built into your GPU to give you every bit of performance it has to offer. And the second is made possible because of the fact that only AMD can deliver both high-performance processors and high-performance GPUs. We call this new feature AMD Smart Access Memory. AMD Smart Access Memory unlocks the greater amount of high-speed memory from the AMD Radeon RX 6000 series graphics cards to the AMD Ryzen 5000 series processors, and it delivers additional levels of performance in games. Simply pair these components with our 500 series chipset motherboards, enable the setting in the BIOS, and the performance uplift becomes automatic. When you combine AMD Smart Access Memory with the one-click overclocking of Rage Mode, you'll get a boost in performance in many of the games you love. We're seeing up to a 13% performance increase, and that's before game developers begin to optimize for this new capability. Now, we know a lot of you absolutely love frames per second performance just like us. However, we can also improve the game experience by reducing latency. The differences of milliseconds of latency in a competitive game can be the difference between a major win and a major loss. Last year, we pushed the industry to recognize there was a better way to provide competitive gamers with less latency from mouse click to the screen, giving competitive gamers who own the RX 5000 series a serious leg up on their competition. Today, we are pushing the boundaries again and further reducing latency in competitive games for even better results. Combining the latest implementation of Radeon anti-lag with the FreeSync monitor can reduce lag in your DX9 and in your DX11 games. In Fortnite, for example, gamers can realize up to 8 milliseconds of latency reduction by simply enabling this feature in Radeon software. More recently, we introduced Radeon Boost, a unique feature that's a step beyond anti-lag. For select games, Radeon Boost offers dynamic resolution in response to your mouse or controller inputs, leading to higher frame rates and, as a result, quicker responses to your input.
Okay, so as you can see, Big Navi is doing pretty well this time around, because if you compare it to the RX 5700 XT, which is a fair letdown, especially with the software, but I reckon this could be the time for them to come back right now. And with $50 cheaper on AMD's side, that could be really good. Thank you for watching. That was fun to make.